Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is still Monday, March 7th, 2022. Well, that wasn't so fun now, was it? Actually, it depends on where you want to look, people. Let's talk honestly. So here's the situation. Stocks fell under pressure today pretty substantially. Not everything, people. Oil and gas producers, the ones I have explained you should be buying, well, they're doing very well. PDBC, the Commodities ETF, I also recommended, still doing well. I do not own defense contractors, but the ones I recommended continue to take off. Okay, what else is going on here? You can expect these trends to continue. Oil and gas companies are going to benefit here. And it may be very substantial. I want to talk more about why. Obviously, you've got defense contractors, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman. There's no top. There is no top here with regard to defense. We are going to see incredible amounts of cash be piling into defense contractors, also oil and gas, commodities. People, why? Here's what's happening. Wall Street is betting on a commodities super spike. We're already seeing it. Last night, crude over $130 a barrel. I think it was 137 actually at one point. We did settle down lower. WTI about 120, 119. It's going much higher, people. What's hitting the market really is the threat that this war is going to expand. Not necessarily beyond the borders of Ukraine, which is obviously a distinct possibility, but there is a threat of cyber warfare between Russia, the United States, Europe, and it could get pretty freaking ugly. So the prospect of that is obviously rattling the markets. But look, just because the whole market goes down or the major indices drop doesn't mean everything is dropping. Okay, banks, financials got hit again. And there's a lot behind this, people. If you are a subscriber to my newsletter, I send out some pretty important information on the banks. Banks are long-term holds. Banks are core positioned. I still believe they're massively undervalued here. And it's not just Greg Mannarino. I mean, look at, I don't know how much weight you want to put on this. Pretty much every single Wall Street analyst is saying that these banks are a moderate buy. As a matter of fact, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America are trading below every single analyst on Wall Street's bottom line call. So there is more than likely a lot of upside here in the long run. So you keep holding on to these positions. I will keep adding to mine. I bought more today. Okay. With regard to defense contractors, I'm not buying them. But like I said, there's almost no top here. Oil and gas producers, yes, I bought more of those today too. Gold and silver, how are we looking? Gold did very well. Silver, a fractional gain. Cryptocurrencies got hit today. Okay, a lot of volatility. People, pretty much everything we're seeing here, I foretold this to you. I said right at the beginning of the year, expect to see extreme volatility in the market, extreme volatility in cryptocurrencies, surging food prices. How about that one? As a matter of fact, food prices globally, February hit their highest point ever in history, surging 20.7% year over year. And I can promise you that this is not done. There's also the lingering threat of food shortages, energy shortages, all the things that you and I have spoken about right here on this blog. I think we're way ahead of the curve. I really do. Let's look over at the market again real quick. As of now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is about 11% off of a record high. 11%? Not a big deal. S&P 500 about 14%. Okay, not great, but not terrible. The NASDAQ, all right. We are now 20% off of an all-time high. Now, I'm not saying, please don't take this the wrong way, that we're not going to drop further. This war and the expansion of this war, the potential commodity super spike, All the stuff that is going on right now is injecting a lot of uncertainty into the market. And the market hates uncertainty more than anything else. You all know that. When people get afraid like they are, how do we know people are afraid? Did you see the dollar today? Bam! Knee-jerk higher. People are now hoarding dollars. The 10-year yield, 1.76. There's nothing going on here. It's still stable. No big spike going on. So yes, we can still see pressure on this market, but it's not the big one. The big one, people, is going to come when we get a spike in the 10-year yield, a rapid, uncontrolled sell-off in the debt market that's going to put a lot of pressure on stocks. It's going to make what we're seeing now look like a walk in the park. People, I've already explained to you, the big one, when we get that meltdown in the debt market, we're looking at a probably 80% sell-off in the S&P 500. That is a crash, an epic crash. I sincerely believe we're going to get there. But all we are doing, you and I, is watching the debt market. There's nothing going on here. Okay, knee-jerk into the dollar, stable 10-year yield, fear in the market. You can smell it. You can smell it on the uncertainty of the war, the expansion of this war. And there's another thing going on too. If you were to turn on not just the financial channels, people, but the regular mainstream, they're talking about this war here being drawn out possibly, are you ready for this? For years, just like COVID. I explained to all of you, I wrote an article in the Trends Journal, every single crisis must be prolonged. This allows more cash in epic sums to be pulled from the future to fuel the monster, the debt monster. You know that. And that's what they're going to do here, people. They're going to drag this out like you have no idea. And with regard to inflation, it's already out of control. We're going to get a big number this week from, maybe it's even tomorrow, about core inflation. It's probably going to be epic. And of course, you're going to hear how the Federal Reserve is really want to combat inflation. It's all a lie. Like I told you, just like the transitory, scheme, the whole charade. They knew this wouldn't be transitory. I told you, and you knew it would not be transitory. You and I, we're laughing. We're rolling all over the floor with that narrative. It's all bullshit. We knew that from the get-go. And the Fed is going to continue to inflate along with other central banks. This war, this propagation of war, the prolonging of this war, the commodities SUPERSPIKE that Wall Street is betting on here. What does that even mean, a commodity SUPERSPIKE? They're saying Wall Street is betting on commodity prices continuing to surge higher than we've ever seen, and I think it's going to take a lot of people by surprise how bad this is going to be. And that plays right into massive, and maybe even hyperinflation moving forward, because the Fed ain't going to do anything to stop it. They can raise rates all they want. I've told you this before. It's not going to change a damn thing. That's the lie that central banks around the world are selling to people. Oh yeah, we're going to raise rates. It's going to cool inflation. Nothing could be further from the truth. They would have to halt buying assets. They would have to dump their balance sheets to make any difference. And they're not going to do that. Central banks' power resides in one thing, their ability to inflate. And they're going to continue to inflate. They're going to flood the world with dollars and other fiat bills of every conceivable type. And you need to be on the opposite side of that trade. You know it. That's the key to this entire thing. Anyway, let me just go over some of the stuff I was writing down here, make sure I covered it. Russian banks might be switching to China's system with regard to global payments. I'm not surprised about that. Look, China and Russia have been angling against the United States for a very, very long time. My only question is, what's China going to do? Okay, I think that's kind of the missing link here. China is primed to do something, so be ready for it. Anyway, let us again move forward. I've been telling you to be ready for anything. Be ready for anything. For example, here we have world food prices hitting a record in February. No surprise to you. I told you, I had said my top 5 trends. One of them was surging energy prices and food. And we're seeing that right now. Here's another one here. So billionaire Bill Ackman believes that World War III has already started. Maybe he's right on that. Anyway, I told you about cyber war. Travel stocks got decimated today. People, look, you know where we're going. There's just no doubt about it here. We haven't seen what we're seeing now in like 8 decades with regard to this war over there. And this is, I think, typical of what a lot of us would have expected here. This crisis to crisis to crisis environment we're in, they had to do this. Again, central banks are going to point at the war for, it's the war. It's not us that we've been printing cash out of thin air to the tune of quadrillions of dollars since the last meltdown. Oh, it's not us that's causing inflation. It's the war. And, you know, this gives them a green light, like I said here. Indirectly or directly here, Vladimir Putin has allowed central banks to do exactly what they want, and that is to inflate. And with regard to how much central banks are going to inflate, I can't even begin to get my head around it. It's going to be epic. Again, trillions and trillions and trillions of more dollars are going to be pulled from the future just to sustain where we are. That's how it always has to be. The war machine must be fed, arms deals, new arms race, new weaponry, everything else you can think about, and even then some. Look, no matter what, we got it covered, people. We do. We're going to sail through this as we always do. Okay, so the times are bad, and they're worse than that, people. Like I told you, people are dying. They are dying right now. Their blood and guts is being spread all over the place. And you know how this works. I've been telling you this for the longest time. They will kill, maim, slaughter anything and anyone, you, me, your children. Don't matter. We're all expendable to keep the debt-based system going. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about. Anyway, and trust me, the worst is yet to come. I've been telling you that for I don't know how long, that things are going to get worse. You think I nailed that one to the wall? I think I did too. You knew this. I don't have to tell you any of this stuff because most of you who follow this blog are very, very, very smart people. Hey, look, I am looking for a couple of more moderators to get rid of these scammers. They are slamming this channel here. And my moderators are doing a fantastic job, but it's difficult. So if you want to be a moderator of this channel and get rid of these scammers, you know, pretending to be me, they're posting my picture, my name, saying, hey, contact me. I got something big for you. It's all a scam. All right. A lot of people have gotten hurt. They're specifically targeting elderly people more so than everybody else, but they'll take anyone's money. So if you want to help out, honestly, if you want to be a moderator, all you need is a YouTube channel. So just comment, Greg, I would like to be a moderator, and I will accommodate as many of you as I can. We do need some more. All right, people, look, this guy here loves you a lot. I mean that. We need to come together. We need to understand what's going on. We need to take advantage of what we are seeing here. We really do. Should I have bought, for example, defense contractors? If I did when I said, I would have made a lot of money. I just couldn't pull the trigger on it. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. I do own banks, okay? People can argue about that too. I own oil and gas companies. People can argue about that too. I own the Commodities ETF. I have recommended to all of you. These have done phenomenal, okay? You know, there's a way, we have to look at this from several perspectives. With regard to longer term, yes, I still believe you need to own financials, banks, the 3 I recommend specifically. I know they have not done very well, but I think long term they're going to do very well. Shorter term, if you want to capitalize on the current freak show, you're looking at things like ExxonMobil, XOM, Chevron, CVX, LMT, Lockheed Martin, NOC, Northrop Grumman, PDBC, Commodities, ETF. There's a lot of ways. Also, obviously, hoarding physical gold and silver, betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank, trading around positions if you are so inclined. We can't let this stuff beat us. And I do get it that, you know, and I've been called out many, many times by people, oh, Greg, I can't believe you're buying this. I can't believe you're buying that. But that's what I do for a living. You have to understand, you know, everyone out here works for the central banks. Yes, you do. You work for their currency. Every day, most of you get up, you go to a job, and you work for fiat currency. You support the debt-based system, the beast system. We are all active participants in it. Once you understand that, you can't point your fingers at a guy like me or a trader or an investor. We're all in it, and we all contribute to it. Think about it. They got us by the throats. They got us by the you-know-what. You see where I'm looking? Yeah, you know, those things down there? They got us there too, by the throat and everything else. And anyway, that's the story, people. I'm going to let you go. I hope this video has been important to you, or at least you've picked up something here. And again, if you want to moderate this channel, help me get rid of scammers, let me know. Greg, I would like to be a moderator, and I'll see if I can make that happen. See you in the morning.